Okay, thank you. I had no idea that this was even possible, that a single field, text field can do all these things. So my question is, when you use the interaction on click from default to one time, and it automatically went to field, what interaction was that?
So I didn't get your question.
No, you use on default, you said it should move to while typing on click. So from when while typing to when the text field is filled, what interaction was that? Because there was a little pause and then it moved to field. So what interaction was that?
It's a click. You can make it click. You can make it. It depends on the presentation you want to make. So this interaction is click. This one also is click. Okay. You can say click. You can also say when the mouse leaves. You understand? So that's another one. So if you do like this and you move away from it, it's going to type it. Anyone. So it depends on your presentation. You can just depend on what you are doing with your client, what you are presenting to your clients. You understand? You can also do this one that says that you can add another interaction that says when I switch to active state. So it's going to be something like this. Okay. And when you now leave, it just writes it for you. So this is a presentation stuff, right? So Damlari, let me hear from you.
Yes, yeah, actually mine is concerning while making the after typing your email there. So that I think you made a switch on the column by the right hand side. Yeah. Whereby you put maybe default, you switch from typing to default and something like that. So my question now is that after typing the email or filling the column, so are you to switch back to default or what? Based on what I saw you doing.
I'm not sure I get the question. Can you let me repeat it again? Just try.
Okay. Yeah, when you type in your email address.
Okay.
I mean the email, yes, that particular point.
Yes.
So exactly somewhere there.
Yeah, so the field version of this interaction has my email inside.
Okay.
But the default state has a placeholder.
Okay.
So you're like
after filling the
all your
email address, you have to
yes.
go back or what?
Yes. So obviously when you want to present your screen or you want to sign off, this is what you present. You basically like do different versions of this, like, you know, let's say after this button, the next one should be login successful. Abi? So
yes.
something like that. So let's say this is what you would see next. So naturally you have to do two versions of this. Something like, let me use so you are going to link your button from here to here, then from this one to here. You get my point, or from maybe from
yes, 100%.
Yeah. So what you just do is just if you are since you are working with just one placeholder and you've made all the setup, okay, I'll take it back to my default state. I'll also take this back to my default state, right? This is the only thing I need. But during the interaction, there'll be a lot of things happening. Okay, I'll be doing, so you guys, you type in your email, you type in your password, and then you continue. That's what you'll be saying, you understand? But by the time you log off, they will only be saying this one. And probably you start wondering, how do you do it to get, just like I said, presentation? Because for myself, I don't give out my design file to people, or I don't share my design file with clients. I want to show them prototype. Basically, if you put this back, if you run this thing on your mobile phone, you just be working. It will be very, very interesting and very sweet. You won't be seeing too many odd spots. Do you understand? When you mistakenly press something on your phone and the thing is showing you press this one instead, that kind of thing. So this is the only thing you'll be seeing, right? But it has about four interaction exists in just this design. Yes, and so now rather than me doing 50 screens or 80 screens, I'll be doing 10. But when the developer is working, you will realize that there's so many nested interactions inside one component or inside one artboard. But like I said, this is just to make you a master of prototyping. Okay. Naturally, a developer will be asking, how does this thing look like if I type? You understand? So this is just to flex your muscle. So any other person? Any other question? Okay, sure.
My question is there like a standard for the, for the length of the or the width of the text field?
There's no standard per se. So what I used to tell people is that obviously, as a designer, you should have your own small sense. So I don't mean to yab designers. So have your own sense. And what that means is that don't be too, accompanying to too many rules. So some people tell you, your text box have to be 60. There was a time 64 pixel in height was like trending on Twitter. I used to laugh. I would say, my text button is big. You don't need all those things, right? What you need is your auto layout setup. Understand? You can go from here and say, in fact, there are some people that even this one is an auto layout. This one is a component that will now exist. Don't let me complicate things for you guys. So I can, this is where the setup is. Okay. Your design system says that your padding at the top and at the bottom should be 16 pixels each. Okay. It should naturally increase the height of the button. Okay. And it says your padding by the left and right should be 16 because you are using 16 by 16, or that's your size, or you're using 8 pixel by 8 pixel as your size. You understand? So when you set all those things up, you can say all this will be adjusted in your main component. You understand? So you don't entirely have to be like increasing or tweaking your height and all those things. Just have your conclude, you and your product designer or product manager, you say how big or how small do you want this to be. So is that you want to work with 16 padding, 60 pixels per padding, I want to use 8. Maybe it is even your text size that needs to improve. Maybe it's 16. So maybe you want to change it to 18 or 20. It's you that will determine. And use your eyes, obviously. It's not something that you need to subdue yourself to your rule. And that thing I tell people is that have your prototype beside you. Have it beside you. Okay. Know when this is looking quite enough, this is looking good enough. In fact, there's a way you can even do it that, I don't want to cheat so advanced on this. You can even do it in a way that you can do it in a way that when you switch from, you can do something like this. No title. I don't want to. So you can do it in a way that when your text feed is like this, it's going to be ordinary. But when you tap on it, the title is going to appear. That's another form of like interaction that you can actually start working on, or you can design. So this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to put off this one. Let's say this is what I've done before. So I can put this off and I'll be working with this. Okay, so the former interaction that was there, I'm going to take it away. I'm just showing you guys there's another form of interaction you can do, and you can do something like this. You can see, okay, let me make it better. I can put smart animate. Yeah, so I can do something like this so that when I am running my design, you see there's one weird interaction that's going to happen now. Did you see it? So it's going to scroll down. That's another one that, if you want to, when you start doing, when you get this right, okay, you will know how to do you can do any form of interaction within components. Sure, you understand? You can do any form of interaction within components, so that it can be as ordinary as this. And when you tap on it, it's going to create that. So different version, just have your own eye. Obviously, this thing is looking big enough. It's okay. Understand? Then have your phone beside you. Be checking some of these things on your phone while designing. Then you have a standard. So, and obviously there are some articles that have supported 16x16 padding, 8x8. Your text size inside the button must be more than 12, must be 16 pixel, all those things. You can apply them if that's what you want to work with. But personally, for me, I don't follow rules. I do things as I see fit. So, Jide, please ask your question before I go forward.
Okay, now with this kind of interaction, it will negate us doing some screens. So when doing design handoff, we are supposed to show the developer, this is how the screen will look like when it's are we going to start showing them prototyping, or we have to now design that screen?
No, you don't show him. You show him prototyping, then you show him your icon. You show you your documentation.
Okay.
Do you understand? So,
because we don't have that screen yet, that's what I was asking.
Yeah. So, bros, when they click on this is the field version of the type. So, a very, very good engineer, because I have some guys that work with me, very, very good guys. This is what they will first go and code. All these components, they will first go and code it in their own library, because they want to reuse it. So it's like coding is like design also in a way. So you'll first do all the component libraries, set up the text field, set up the animations of the text field. In fact, is the OT that I'm using to do my own design also, because I saw the way they work, and okay, they will first of all build their own component library or use default, the way we have Figma material design or design systems that are on Figma community. We also have they have a lot of libraries that have been published by different front-end or back-end developers that they used to go and copy and paste. And so they will go and tweak, just like the way we are tweaking this thing the other time, the way we are tweaking some of these things the other time. They also tweak things so that to fit into the design that the UI guy has given them. You understand? That's how they work. All right, another question. Your final question before I move to the next one. Okay, no more questions. Thank you. So the next one is buttons, and it's pretty much the same way we did the text field. Okay. Now I've already designed a button. So let me just pick this out. And I'm going to make a component out of it. Don't forget, always name your component so that it's easier to find. I can give this 4. I can call this primary. Okay, then you can make different versions of this, about probably 4 of it. The over states, the press states. So the press state can be, the press state can be this. And the inactive states, which we've done severally. So the inside is going to be, let me find another one. Okay, so we already have this, and you can run a prototype that says that when I hover, okay, switch to this. You understand? When I press, I don't know about press. Let's just work with this. So let me go and replace this with this one. And so when I hover on it, you can see the way press is looking like. So sorry. So that's my overstate. And I can do something like my prototype says, okay, when I hover on it, it should change. So let me take back. That must be internet. No, it's not working. Okay, so it's working now. So you can do so buttons is actually the easiest, right? And obviously you can just add icons to it. So you can add icons to each of them. In fact, there's a way I had my button. I had two actually. So what I do is that everything here, I'm going to have, I'll call this front, okay, or back icons. And for everything here, I'm going to call it front icons. Understand? So I can just put this off so it doesn't look awkward. Okay, and you can just switch anyhow it is. So the reason why I said that anytime you are working with icons, and that will shift us to the topic, the icon set stuff. So the reason why I said we should have this is because when you are importing more plugins, sorry, let's say you are importing more icons, let's import them as components. Let's say arrow. So I have these two, okay, and I'm using 1616. Okay, so basically what this means is that anywhere some of these things exist, okay, I can easily click on instances and I can swap, I can make adjustments of it. You guys understand? So at this point, you don't have to be editing your buttons. You can basically change icons within a component. Understand? So it's going to look smooth like this. You don't have to start, some of you have to detach so that you can put. So another thing some people do is that they will turn all these things to variants. It doesn't really work that way, you understand? So you can basically adjust some of these icons by just scroll down and you can pick anything of it. So rather than me doing all these things one after the other, what I used to do is that I'll go to Figma community and I'll go and import icon sets. So I can just say icons or icon sets. That's some, I don't know. Is it that you buy it? So when you even buy icon sets, some icon sets, they come in different, like they come as components, you understand? So let me get a copy of this one, for example. So this is one thing I do. I would have showed you a real project where I applied some of these things, but just so we don't. Okay, so this is an icon library that somebody has done, and you will notice that the person did it in components. You can see they are all components here. So what I'll just do is I'll just carry this guy's work. Come on, I'll just go to my own work and I'll create a new page. I'll call it icons and I'm going to paste it there. So if you bought an icon set, for example, right? By the time you are putting it in your design or your file, they will be coming in as icon, as what is it called, as components. So when you want to make your designs, right, it's because of this one is there. Let me go and take it. Let me cut it and put it here. So it exists among these guys. Let me just put it somewhere here. So when I go here, you can see I can easily go and search for, you can see time, bold, and you can pick alarm, or you can just search for it. You can search for anything. You can see front. So I'm sure back. So you can see it's there. So you can basically switch among this. Or let's say sorry. Let me use edit. So it's the person that named this icon that's going to make it easier for us to find. So instead of you having to use iconify or something, so you can use a branded icon. So this is where I say when you're working with brand designers, they will have created these things for you. They will now make it into components so that the kind of icons you import, they'll be branded. So this is edit. Let me look for, I don't like this guy's work. Okay, let's use this one for example. You can see is now here. You can change this to maybe 12. So it looks quite better. Let me see. You can change this to 1. And same thing with everything that is there. You can, let me take this back. You can basically come here and look for, you can see this is arrows. Okay, you can use bold arrows and you can switch between those arrows if you want. So just change the color, and that's how you work with icons, branded icons. You can also find one here and look for the name, just copy it, and you can go to your components and paste the name. So just paste it and just change the color back. So it's there. So these are how you can apply iconographies to your buttons, and you don't really have to be doing a lot of work switching from one place to another. So you can go. Do you guys understand all the things I just said? Oh, sorry. Please, if you have questions, you can ask. Please ask questions so that if you want me to come over, I can ask those questions. I can answer them. Sorry. Abdul. Are you there? Okay, if you're not there. Messi.
Hi, good evening, Maski. Thanks very much. Okay, please, could you come again with getting the icon from Figma community and creating a page and making it a component? Just recap. Thanks.
Okay. All right. So so if you look at my icon set, now you see that each page I have a lot. I kind of create one page for where I can actually find them. Okay. So everything that concerns badges, I put it here. Everything that concerns breadcrumb, I put it here. Everything that concerns icons, Okay, I created a new page for it. So these are my icons, for example. Look at just like what I just described to you guys now. All my icons are here. And if this is one of my files, so if I'm looking for an icon set for forward, okay, I'll just go over the assets. So I'm going to look for icons. It is there. Let me look for it. And you know, I can look at the dark one. I can basically like pick from here. I can just drag. This is one way, or I can just look for it by searching and drag and put here. So at this point, I'm using something branded, something that it was the company's icon. We are not using Material.io, or we are not using icons that we saw on the internet. This one, it was the team that built it. So basically, what I'm trying to introduce you guys to is that when you want to make your design system, one of the things you can do is to have custom icons. And what does that mean? If you know you are not going to be building icons from scratch. By the way, in that class, in the paid class, I taught how to draw icons. You can basically draw icons on Figma. Everything is on the class. You can do something like this. And I think some of our students, they created about 50 of the icon set. So you can also learn this. So if you know you can't do all the drawings, okay, just go to Figma community, search for icon sets. People would have done a lot of icons or a lot of icon sets out there, okay? So pick one that is working, that works fine for you, that you like, okay, and you can get a copy of it. Do you understand? You can get a copy of it and, sorry. So open it, copy it, and import it to your own. Oh, this person did not do this one well. The person not componented, so I don't like this one. I can't work with this. Let me just look for my concepts. Let me see. So let me see. Okay, let me see if this will work. So let me get a copy of this, right? Okay, so if I look at this, by the time I'm clicking on it, I will realize that now I realize that everything here is in component, which really will work for my project, which makes a lot of sense, right? So I can just copy all these icons, this O file, I'll copy it and I'll put it in my own. So when you are bringing it to your own, just create a new page. You can call it iconography. Just give you something that you can find and paste it. Yeah. Now that you're pasting it, they are coming in as components. And in the rule of Figma, building your Figma design, okay, when you have an icon like this, you can search for, you can change component to another component. You understand? So you can just go over here and you can now say, I want to look for, okay, let me go back. You can see this iconography is the one I just brought in. Sure, you see. So you can basically change what is inside and say, okay, there's crypto here. So I can say I want to work with Apple. Do you see now? You can see that it will change because of you already have some of these icons here inside this iconography. And I don't like this. Ugh, this thing is looking really ugly. So let me just look for all of them. And let me delete it. So now you can see that you can easily switch a lot of things because there's a set that has all these setup. You can see there's a set of icons that you're making use of, right? And you can even tweak the colors. Select all the icons here, show the colors. You can replace this color with our own color. Let's use yellow. Okay, so that every time you import it, it's going to have this yellow effect. It's as simple as that. Do you guys understand what I just did now? Don't worry, when you are watching the video, you can watch it again. Messi, do you understand? Okay, Abdul or Abdul. Is that your question? So we can go to the last class for the day. Okay, I can't hear anything from you. All right, so well, that's that on that. Which other thing? We've talked about alerts. So alerts, we've designed one already. So just change it, turn this to a component, and you can just keep adding more alerts. And we've also talked about icons. In fact, I think we are done with the class. So always go through. You can actually, one day I'm going to release this to the public. You can see this is the icon set I created for IOTA. Right? You can see some of these things. There's a little trick of, customized and whatever. So I have a custom icon set for IOTA. I also have the one I can use for simple things. I've done loaders, I've done modals, so you create component for everything, and you can easily search, you can easily import, you can easily tweak things based on the work you are doing. So that is me introducing you guys to how design system work. The advanced level is available for you guys who want to have access to it. Just join our community first of all, which is quite important. I'm going to paste it again. So you can join our community where we do some interaction. I'll be sending you guys a lot of links, a lot of materials, whatever. And you can also get access to the course. The course is pretty much very, very cheap, 20K. And you can pay instrumentally. So just to support you guys, you can pay twice, 10K each. And after 2 weeks, we'll require that you pay the rest of the money. So there's a live class every Sunday. We'll be treating each of our topics one after the other. I'll be supporting you guys by, teaching you guys on a private base just to the students, or else you can also watch the course during your piece. Then we have exams. You do an exam, and if you do the exam, you're going to have a certificate. I think I covered about 40 topics. Let me show you guys so that you know that I'm not lying. So let me see, IOTA students, courses, design, and episode tracker. So you can see, this is it here. So you can see text guide, style guide, iconography part 2, anchors, typography, color, style guide. So this thing is 111. Spacing, text feed, constraint and variance. We also taught project management, starting your UI, prototyping, working with developers. We have just many things that you can, you can watch one after the other, and you can even track them. Understand? So let me just take 2 or 1 more question, and I think we are done for the class. Anybody else want to ask anything? Okay. Jide, please.
Well, I want to say a very big thank you. Thank you for all you have done. Really opened our eyes to a lot of tricks on design system and interaction. So I just have a very simple question I want to ask. So when do you pick interns, or how do you pick interns?
The best students of my course will be an intern. In fact, there's a big chance you might even get a paid job, if you feel, because obviously if you finish the course, I can vouch for you that you're a good designer. So I have a lot of graduates. Let me show you some of my graduates, so that some of them are quite popular, some not really. some are just starting, so they are not really that loud. So you can see we have an assignment tracker here where people submit their assignments. And if you look at the students, you can see I have about, I think this guy has completed his one. Some people are still doing theirs. It's about 12 assignments, very, very tough ones. So, and they make some presentation. You can see a lot of people are basically doing stuff. So that's on design. We also have for product managers. If you want to be a product manager, you can also buy my product management course. So that's that. So if you do well, if you apply, you can bring you in. But currently, I'm not really looking for interns for now. I can only probably help you get internship somewhere else. Any other question? Damlari.
Yeah, once again, thank you very much. Yeah, actually, I'm the one that called earlier. We just went to having one issue with seller. But my question now is that all these that you've shown us now, everything is on the course guide, right?
I promise you it's on the course. If you don't see it, ask for refund.
Because even before applying, and I went through the list under seller. I think some topics were raised there. Although I have idea of one or two or some rather to be precise, but I know that I can still get an in-depth or more detailed one-on-one
Yes.
guide. So
In the
that's
live
why I have to
class.
I just have to go for this.
Okay, thank you. So, BC, please.
Okay. Good evening, mostly. Can you hear me?
So before you ask, don't worry, you guys can ask more questions in the community. I'm going to answer them in case we end the class. Please continue.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, good evening, mostly. First of all, I'd like to